Welcome back. Welcome, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We are all Bitcoin Maxis. Now I'm on my walk, trying to get some sun. Just got out of the gym, and I know you all love hanging out with me while I'm outside on my walks, trying to get some sun, enjoying the beautiful day. Now, it's very important that you all stay with me in this video because the jobs report came out, and it's not looking good. As I've been telling you all, specifically in one of my videos about AI, inflation, and how it ties into Bitcoin. If you guys haven't watched that video, go watch it. It's very important. Now, if the Fed cuts rates, I think it might be more than just 25 basis points, right? Because we didn't add as many jobs as we wanted to. And that's a big problem for the economy, right? And so, in my opinion, this is also due to AI. So I was thinking today, how can I get ahead of this? How can I maximize my savings? How can I maximize stacking Bitcoin before the Fed cuts rates and possibly we see Bitcoin go down and then possibly shoot up? But we can't predict what's going to happen because there's other channels out there, I'm sure, that say, well, Bitcoin's going to do this and that. Nobody can really predict it. However, I strongly believe, and this is my opinion, that we are going to see Bitcoin skyrocket around end of the year, beginning of next year, towards next summer, because inflation is about to get wild. And this is why I stress to you all on this channel that you all really need to figure a way out to save money and have a backup plan to not be relying on your job and rely on yourself. You got to invest in yourself, but also invest in your future. And that's a lot what this channel is about. You know, I want to protect you all because I know what it's like. You know, the middle class right now is struggling. They're struggling. And it seems to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, it's getting worse. So how can we turn everyday investments, or purchases, into Bitcoin investments? Well, one way, I was remembering when I was married and my ex-wife, she used to take, I think it was an app. I'm gonna look into it because I'm gonna start doing it again. But there was an app that you can scan when you go to the grocery store, right? And you can get money back. So when you get money back, that's a way we can add to the pot of our Bitcoin. Another way, what I do is, if you've seen my little apartment tour and how I like to save money and I don't buy furniture and all that right now because it's only a temporary place, what I do is I spend pretty much in cash. So I buy things with cash when I go to the grocery store, this and that, whatever I go and buy, I buy with cash. And then the change I have left over, what I usually do is I'll take the change and put it in a little Coca-Cola bottle. And then when it gets, about halfway, or, maybe 1/4 of the way, I'll take it in and then get the cash, deposit it, and then I'll put that into Bitcoin. Another way is that in your bank, right? Some banks do this. I don't know if all banks do this, but you'll have to look into it if you're interested. But what you can do is you can have it to where your purchases round to the nearest dollar. And then what you can do is that change goes into your savings, right? And then you could allocate some of that once you've saved a little bit for Bitcoin, your Bitcoin purchases. So it's important to realize as well that we don't want to spend all of our money on Bitcoin because we do need to save for emergencies. We need to keep dollar cost averaging into our emergency fund. And then we also need to dollar cost average into cash reserves. So if Bitcoin ever just plummets, for example, we could put a little bit more in, right? And then what we can do is do things like that, where we take everyday purchases and we can buy Bitcoin with it, because it's very important to understand that right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a crossroad of AI is coming into play, taking jobs, as well as inflation. So we have employers that are ultimately saying, you know what, we're going to invest in AI agents, and then we're going to cut jobs. But realistically, they're not even really coming out and saying it has a lot to do with AI. They're mostly coming out and saying it's, the jobs report and inflation. That has something to do with it, in my opinion, right? That's a factor. However, we want to plan for the future here, and we want to think to ourselves, look, AI is eventually going to take a lot of jobs. And a lot of people are naive to this, and I don't know why. Because I've already been seeing it. I'm in the Bay Area, where it's Silicon Valley, it's tech. And I'm already seeing it quite a bit. And so this is happening on a global scale, and it's going to happen even quicker as the years go by. And then what's going to happen is that people aren't going to be able to make ends meet, and they're barely able to make ends meet. The middle class is just getting wiped out. So planning for this stuff is very important, because while everybody is getting poorer and poorer and possibly losing their jobs, we can be figuring ways out to add to our emergency fund, add to our savings, and as well as dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, right? We want to have 3 avenues. We want to have 3 lanes. We don't just want to throw all of our savings into Bitcoin, right? Because we don't want to have to sell Bitcoin if we lose our jobs. We don't have to sell Bitcoin if we have an emergency. That's what those 2 lanes are for. And I really stress that to you all on this channel. And that's why I really make these videos, because I'm very passionate. And I've been in crypto a long time. I've seen crypto winners. However, when people are scared and people are selling off, the smart investors are going in there and dollar cost averaging more, because they've been planning for it. They have an investment plan. They have things that they've been doing on the side, side hustles. And that's why I always tell you all to invest into yourself. It's very important. Like my buddy's dad, he was working for DoorDash, 70 years old, great shape, 70 years old. And so he started painting, stopped doing the DoorDash gig. Now he paints, making thousands and thousands of dollars on his paintings, and I motivated him and told him, don't give up on your paintings, stick to your prices. And now they're all over the Bay Area, doctors' offices, lawyers' offices. So everybody has a talent and everybody has a passion, and you have to really tap into that, okay? You have to really, really tap into that, because everybody has a talent, whether you think you do or not. You do in some way. You just doubt yourself, and don't doubt yourself, because doubting yourself, right, is only going to make you feel worse. But when you're positive and you say, look, I can do this, I can have a good investment plan, I'm going to stick to this investment plan. Everything is in your mind. When I was in the military, what we say is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So we want to be very, very precise, and we want to make sure we get the job done right. And so that goes into turning everyday purchases into Bitcoin investments. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're maximizing your savings, but we want to do it in a slow, steady pace, because Bitcoin's not going anywhere, right? Bitcoin is going to be here for a long, long time, and we do not want to get FOMO. We don't want to sit here and think that, oh my God, tomorrow it's going to go to 1 million, because it's not going to. It's going to take years. But the hard work that you put in now, the sacrifices that you make now and today, are going to be rewarded in the future. And you're going to be able to say, look, I was an OG maxi. I was an OG Bitcoin maxi, and I was there when Bitcoin was $100,000. And people at at $1 million are going to be wishing and kicking themselves in the rear, because, dang, I remember when I seen Bitcoin at $110,000, And then people are going to be piling through the door at 1 million. People are going to be piling through the door at 5 million, right? But the key is that we're here now and we can make smart decisions and we can scale back on our purchases. So I want to come on and make this video, enjoying the sun. I love when I make these vlog style videos. I know you all love it as well, hanging out with me, just talking. Again, it's very therapeutic for me to just talk with you all about Bitcoin, because we're all Bitcoin maxis here. And I love this community. You all have been so positive to me, and I've been getting nothing but love and support on this channel, and I appreciate you all so much. I want to grow this channel so big, and I want people to understand that the Bitcoin maxis was where they learned about Bitcoin, right? That's my dream. My dream is I want the average person to feel comfortable in our community that doesn't know about Bitcoin, but they have a safe place to go to learn about Bitcoin, and they don't get confused and I don't know where to start, you know, and it's a welcoming community, and that's what I'm building, and that's what I wanted to build from the beginning, and it's coming to fruition. So thank you all again, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We're all Bitcoin Maxis, and if you're new here and if you made it this far, please consider hitting that subscribe button and join the Bitcoin Maxi community. And to all my OG Bitcoin Maxis that have been here since day one, you know I appreciate you all more than ever. I'll see you all in the next one.